They say mail days are the best days, and today...
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Today, we just received the new Jack Daniel's Distillery Series Twice Barreled Rye. Let's go ahead and give it a review.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to review some Jack Daniels. Always happy to review Jack Daniels.
Yeah, so we just received not too long ago this new Jack Daniel's Distillery Series. It's Twice Barreled Rye Whiskey. It is basically the Distillery Series. It used to be like Tennessee Tasters, if I recall.
Yeah.
So they're only available at the gift shop. They're actually fairly cheap. They're like $47.99. They're less than $50, which is nice.
Yeah.
They are $3.75 though, so keep that in mind. But this is basically a play-on from last year's release. I'm guessing it's probably like a younger version. So I don't really remember. I don't remember all the stats from last year's. But this is 107 proof, which if I recall is more than last year's.
I think you're right. I think it is.
Limited release at 100 proof.
Mm.
It is 70% rye, 12% malted, 18% malted barley, 12% corn, and it was finished in a new char oak for an additional 2.5 years.
Always like that extra charred oak.
Yeah.
Always gives it that little special over the edge. And truthfully, it does get that little hint of oakiness a little bit more.
I'm trying to think.
$41.99. That's a pretty good deal for a $3.75. Again,
yeah, it's less than $50, whatever it is.
Again, we take this back. All the good distilleries have some $3.75, and it's all generally in that $50 to $55 range. So, kudos for keeping it at that spot.
Whew.
Before we really dive into this too, hit the like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and keep it up. We're having a good time.
Yeah, thank you all for the love and support. Man, there's like a burnt marshmallow there. It's like campfire, cedar wood, just like burning.
Yeah.
Comes off like very sweet as well.
That's what I was going to say. And there's not any like in particular sweetness. Like sometimes you'd be like, oh, it's vanilla-y smelling. I just think it does. It smells just sweet.
It doesn't really come off super rye on the nose.
No. There's like a hint, like a little hint right at the backside of the nose, but nothing like overwhelming for sure.
It is a little ethanol-y too.
Yeah. Has this been open long?
I just cracked it and let it breathe. That's all I did.
Okay, so
I didn't try it because I wanted it.
Yeah. First
opportunity.
Well, I mean, we are usually fans of Jack Daniel's rye.
Sure.
So
sure, it's kind of hard to screw that up in our book.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. The more you nose on it, I do see more of that rye that wants to come out, more of that greenery.
It's not sweet like it smells sweet. It's good. It's got some sweetness to it, but it's not sweet.
You don't think that's sweet?
I think it's not sweet how I think the smell made it seem like it would be sweet. I think it's got a little more spice on the front end of it. I think that hides the sweetness a little bit on the front end of the palate.
Now that I was going to say, it definitely has more spice on it than like what it did on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this is my first drink of the day.
Yeah, mine
So
too.
That finish was really nice. I think there's a lot of like vanilla sweetness, vanilla extract, like vanilla cream on the front of that palate, like right there on the tippy top. And then it kind of evolves a little bit of char oak, a little bit of fresh oak. And then you really start getting into that rye part where you're starting to see some spices, some like I said, like some greenery, some forestry.
Yeah.
And then that finish, I want to see if it's on the second one, but that finish was long.
Yeah, it's got a good finish for sure. And I feel like it's more of a rye finish to me. Like
For sure.
I feel that the rye really shines through on the finish.
You know you're drinking a rye,
Yeah.
but it definitely feels like it's more of like a Kentucky rye where it's like a 51% rye.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is this is 70% rye, so there's a ton of rye in this.
Yeah.
It doesn't drink that way though.
No.
There is some sweetness. That sweetness isn't as crazy on the palate as what it is on the nose, but
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like there is sweetness to it, but it's not what I expected after nosing it. So
a little bit of a mint note on the finish.
yeah,
But that finish is still strong. It's not as strong as what it was the first time you had it, but it's still strong.
No, it still stays right.
Yeah.
I think it still stays right there. And again, is it because it's our first drink of the day? Maybe. But whatever it is, I like it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
That's really good. I'd like to pit this against last year's at some point.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
This is something that, excuse me. This is something that, is this going to be Whiskey of the Year contender? No. Is this something really, really tasty? Yes.
Yeah.
This is something that's super easy to sip on. It's not overly complicated, but it's really punchy in what you get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, I mean, it's really, really nice.
And again, I think like for $41, if you're down at the distillery, because that's the only place that you're really going to get these is at the distillery.
Yeah.
And so if you're at the distillery and you're questioning whether to pick one up, pick it up. It's $41. And
good.
it'll be something that your friends around you probably, unless you live in the state of Tennessee, are probably not going to have an opportunity to try unless you are the bridge between Tennessee and your friends.
Yeah, this is good. Again, I want to say thank you to Jack Daniels for sending sending the sample to us. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I recommend it. I mean, again, it's easy to find, or it's not easy to find. It's easy to sip on. It's at a reasonable price.
Yep.
You know, it's good.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Tell us if you've had it. Tell us what you think about it. And till the next time.
we'll see you.
We'll see you.